All right. I did this interview with M80 where he spoke about him almost beating up Agallah, right? And how he prevented him from committing suicide. And Agallah was doing bad business. Agallah ended up seeing the video and he called M80 saying, "How you gonna let Panda use you like that? He's the reason some other people can't come out of the house anymore," and all that shit. M80 told him, "Man, he's not using me. You know, like you can only be used if you let yourself be used." And I told him what happened. I told him the truth. That's what M80 told him, right? Then Agallah tried to like stick his chest out, was all like, "You can't come back to New York."
Oh my God.
So the whole day, M80 was trolling him on social media. I guess M80 owns like 20 beats of his and like a couple verses and stuff. So he started licensing them out for $8 each. And he was like, "Yo, I need to be able to make enough money to have a steak lunch or something like that." Next thing you know, he Googles where he could get a steak lunch for 30 something dollars. He ends up at Sizzler. He starts filming at Sizzler, outside Sizzler, and inside Sizzler. So I know you saw the thing with Agallah and M80. What did you think about that?
That was hilarious, yo. Then I wanted to fish for more information, and then when you oh man, you showed me, that was crazy. That was crazy. Hey, it was deep.
It was deep.
It was deep.
Well, you worked with Agallah, right?
Got the mind of my notes. Yeah, I work with Ag, man. Shout out to Ag. You know what I'm saying? I definitely work with Ag. I mean, I never worked with him like a lot. It was just the one project, and we got a dope record with me, him, and Jazzo. Shout out to Jazzo too. You know what I mean? I haven't talked to Jazzo for a long time. Last time I talked to Jazzo was like, sheesh, maybe like close to 10 years ago.
Wow.
I haven't talked to Jazz in a long time. I got to try and reach out to him and shit. Real good brother though, Jazzo, real good dude. We used to sometimes bust it up, you know what I mean? Gave me good insight at the time, you know what I mean, and on the game. I was coming new to the game, and I was working on the project, and me and him and Ag did the joint, you know what I mean, for my mixtape, Go That Product with a Twist of Soul Food, and it was dope, you know what I'm saying? And that was it. You know what I mean? We did that, I was doing me, they was doing them, you know what I'm saying? And it was just a classic record, you know what I mean? But, over the years, I saw them do little stuff, and that's all I knew. And then when I saw the M80 joint, like, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, I ain't know shit was going down like that. It was, it was wild.
So when was the last time that you spoke to Ag?
Man, you know what? Me and Ag didn't talk like that all the time or nothing like that. It was through a mutual friend, you know what I'm saying? I think it was at the time DJ Ronan, you feel me? He was the one that really hooked up the collab. I used to talk to Jazzo though, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Ag, it was really like the one or two times, you know what I mean? It wasn't like nothing like we did the record, I knew he was a dope producer, you know what I'm saying? He always made hot beats and stuff like that.
Great producer, man.
He's dope. Great producer, yeah, real dope. And and then I knew he rhymed a little bit and stuff like that. So when Rona was like, yo, get Ag and stuff like that, and then throwing Jazz in it just made it all better, you know what I mean? And that's how that came about. But I didn't talk to Ag at the time like I used to talk to the other MCs, to like Jazz or anybody. But Ag, it seemed like a good brother to me, you know what I mean? Like, whatever him and M80 got, I hope them brothers could fix that, you know what I mean? Because from my understanding, they was good. they used to be good, and we at an age, man, that sometimes, somebody got to take accountability, swallow their pride, man, and just let that shit go sometimes. It's sad seeing, you know, people like M80 and even Ag get into shit like that, I mean, to each his own though, now somebody did some foul shit, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? I just won't get in between that shit, but hopefully they come to an understanding on that.
Yeah, and I
because
think
that's
that that's
some
the
shit.
problem is that from what M80 is saying is that Ag did some real bad business and M80 was trying to
Right,
be a stand-up dude and really help him out because Ag was really struggling at one point, you know what I'm saying?
right, right.
And I understand from M80's point of view because it's like, yo, if you're trying to be a good dude and help somebody out and they turn around and like snake you or whatever, right?
Right.
Then you're gonna feel a type of way, you know.
Yeah.
But I really do think that it's kind of crazy for Ag to be saying like you can't come back to New York. Like at this age though, like if you have a problem, then
Yeah.
like just be real about it and talk it out, right? And be like, you know what? Yeah, I did fuck you over. That's my bad. You know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, and then making them type of threats, and you know what I mean, it looked crazy. If Ag said that on Ag's if Ag said that on his part, he looked wild saying that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, that's like with the no fly zone shit, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Too many rappers do that. Like, yo, you can't come to my city. Nigga, how you gonna know when niggas come to your city? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, boy, you fuck with a real one, that motherfucker really gonna come to your city, and he's gonna invade your space.
Well,
And,
M80
and,
told
and
him, he said he challenged
yeah,
him to a fight. He said that, yo, if I lose, I'll pay you $10,000. And you know what I mean? Like if Agallah loses, all M80 wants is a nice sandwich. It's
motherfucker crazy.
crazy. Yo, I love M80 because
Oh
he's
man,
super rich, but he's so petty that he's like he'll have all the time to go back and forth with people. The videos that he be making is trolling
nah.
people is
And
crazy.
not saying he right,
Right.
but in kind of way, if he is right, I'll be on that petty shit too. If he is right,
Right. Right.
because if I got it right, I'm gonna be petty than a motherfucker. I'm gonna be
Mhm.
petty because of course, it's gonna be because I trusted you at one point, and if you could hurt me like that, and they had a good relationship, but you could hurt me like that, then I'm gonna make sure I hurt you. I'm gonna troll the fuck out of it. I'm until you do something.
Right.
I'm going to egg it on. So I understand, I get it. You feel me? But that's if he did do something. You know what I mean? Like, man, get a motherfucking sandwich and shit.
No, but I see that happen a lot though, where people get mad at the interviewer
Yeah,
over getting mad at the actual person that said it though.
yeah, that's crazy. I don't know, man. Sometimes that they shouldn't. You can't do that. You know what I mean? And that's Ag, you gotta clean that up, Ag. Come on, Ag. You know what I mean? You an OG in the game, man. You better than that. So you know what I mean? I want to see some of these brothers work that shit out. And if they can't work it out, man, listen, man, just meet up and shit in a motherfucking undisclosed place, and hey, man, old school, and you know what I mean. And after that, y'all go have a beer, man, talk, man. Motherfuckers is too old for the bullshit already. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. You know what I mean?
But
But
you know my interactions with Ag has always been a little weird though, bro. Like I remember I reached out to him to do an interview and I was showing
right,
mad love and everything, right? And
right,
his manager was just like, I need you to promise that you're not gonna get him in any shit or whatever. And I was like, yeah, bro, whatever he don't want to talk about, I don't care. Like, you know, I really wanted to cover his career. You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right,
Because whether you like him or not, or you mad about something that he did, he does have a good career to cover. And I wanted to cover his life and his career, you know? But then like the manager kept on being like, I need it written down that you're not gonna do it and signed and stuff like that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like
See,
Nobody
but
ever told me to do that before.
yeah, see, but you know what it is, man. I'm gonna tell you the truth about something because I done saw the ins and outs. See, I'm in the inside, so for me being in the inside, that manager word is played out too. Because what some of these artists do is they got fake managers. So if they don't want to deal with you or whatever, they'll be like, "Yo, my manager," and they might have a manager,
Right.
but 9 times out of 10 they don't.
It's an excuse.
It's an excuse, and they type in their own shit on what a manager will say.
Oh, got
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I seen shit like that. You know, where some of these bigger artists do shit like that, and we at a time that, come on, man. Maybe if you was bigger and had more light on your career and stuff like that, yeah, you're gonna need a manager to take care of your shit. But you know what I'm saying? When you motherfucking, you're not that big no more, and you know what I mean, you know your stock value is down. Come on, man, like real motherfuckers can see through that, and it's like, you got to do better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just be real.
Yeah. Then another time he had posted Grand Theft Auto, which is like a part of my childhood. He was on the soundtrack for that. You know what I mean? On Game FM radio,
Right.
With the song he did with Sean Price and everything. And I was bigging him up. I was like, yo, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like this. And he was like starting doing that passive aggressive shit in his like response to me. And I was just like, bro, I'm bigging you up. Like, I don't even know what's going on right now. And then he blocked me after because he felt the way about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But like people say that he got like an alcohol kind of problem. So I think the way that he interprets certain things is like a little left, is a little off.
Hopefully he don't, but if he do, then I mean, he's gonna hinder himself doing shit like that. You feel me? That's not a good look. You know what I mean? So hopefully he don't. You know what I mean? And hopefully it's something else. You know what I mean? I hope I hope the brother's in good health and everything. You know what I mean? I don't wish nothing bad on nobody, but sometimes you gotta do better than that, man. You know what I mean? Not come across like that, because that's not gonna get you nowhere, man. For real.
Because I know that it wasn't too long ago he was dissing Lloyd Banks, and I remember I covered it and I tagged Lloyd Banks, and Lloyd Banks was laughing. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But
that's crazy.